Good afternoon. Welcome to Anatomy and Physiology. I'm Kerry Bernard, a professor as well as senior consultant with HIM Links Incorporated, and my goal is to educate you on the medical terminology and anatomy and physiology associated with ICD-9-CM as well as ICD-10 billing and coding. We want to learn the terminology and the anatomy and physiology that's going to help you do your job in that field more efficiently and definitely accurate. So today I want to touch on the circulatory system. That corresponds to Chapter 9 of the new ICD-10 guidelines. And the circulatory system, when we think about it, is going to be our heart. And our heart, as we know, is about the size of our fist, located in our thoracic cavity, just slightly offset to the left. Now, this fist-size organ is pretty special. It has to be non-stop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in order to give us the life-giving blood that we need just to live. Now, that's asking a lot out of an organ only the size of your human fist. So we're going to learn a little bit about how this miraculous organ can do its job day in and day out, no vacations, and we're going to learn the terminology associated with the heart. So ultimately you can transition this knowledge to your new career field. Well, as I said just a second ago, the heart's only about the size of your fist, and it's located in the thoracic cavity of the body. As you can see from this model, this is our heart, and it is going to be surrounded by the lungs. Now, because the lungs literally sit right on top of the heart, if each of these organs did not have some sort of protective covering, they would all stick together and not allow each other to do their jobs. And so the heart actually is encased in a special membrane called the pericardium. Now, imagine again that the heart, it's about the size of my fist. Well, what do we typically put on our fist to protect it? A glove. Well, think of this glove as being the pericardium, the membrane that protects the heart. As you can see, my glove has an outer portion, and my glove also has an inner portion. A light gray inner portion, a dark gray outer portion. Well, the membrane of the heart has an outer portion and an inner portion as well. This pericardium, again, the membrane that surrounds the heart, has an outer portion which doesn't touch the heart, but instead touches the thoracic wall, and we call that the parietal pericardium. The parietal pericardium, again, is going to come in contact with the thoracic wall, but not the heart muscle itself. That will be the job of the inner portion of the pericardium. Again, if my hand is the heart model, this inner portion of the pericardium is what's going to actually come into contact with my heart. We refer to the part that actually comes into contact with the heart as the visceral pericardium. So, the membrane surrounding the heart, keeping it from coming into contact with the lungs and literally sticking to the lungs, we refer to as the pericardium. This membrane has two sides, an outer portion, which we refer to as the parietal pericardium, and an inner portion that we refer to as the visceral pericardium. Now, the heart is a four-chambered structure. There are two upper chambers called atria and two lower chambers called ventricles. The right side of the heart actually is going to receive deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body. This deoxygenated blood is full of the waste product carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas which is the result of cells going through their metabolic functions. Our body needs to get rid of this carbon dioxide before it builds up to dangerous toxic levels in our body. We do this by bringing this deoxygenated blood back to the heart, and from there the heart will circulate this deoxygenated blood full of carbon dioxide to the lungs. where ultimately we will exhale and the gas will escape out into the atmosphere. At the lungs, we also pick up oxygen, and it goes into the left side of the heart. Okay? The left side of the heart is going to be the pump, which ultimately pumps blood throughout the entire body. The left side receives oxygen-rich blood, pumps it through the entire body, giving every cell in our body the oxygen that it needs to survive and perform metabolism. This cycle of carrying deoxygenated blood to the lungs and picking up oxygen and returning it to the heart and then ultimately pushing it to all the cells in the body continues 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And again, it's carried out by this miraculous organ that's only about the size of our fist. Well, getting back to these structures associated with the heart, we said that the right side of the heart is going to be the right atrium, the lower chambers, the right ventricle. On the opposite side, we have the left atrium and the left ventricle. So once again, those structures, the upper chamber of the heart on the right side, which receives deoxygenated blood, is the right atrium. The right ventricle, the pump on the right side, which pumps blood to the lungs. On the left side, we have the left atrium, which is the receiving chamber of oxygen-rich blood coming from the heart, coming from the lungs. The left ventricle, which is the main pump of the heart. It has the biggest, thickest, most muscular walls, and this left ventricle pumps blood throughout all the body. It's the real force behind circulating the oxygen-rich blood that we need to nourish all the cells within our body. So, just to summarize, the heart is a fist-shaped organ, left side of our thoracic region, surrounded in a membrane called the pericardium, which is a two-sided membrane, an outer membrane, the parietal pericardium, the visceral pericardium, which surrounds the heart itself, and finally a right side and a left side pump. The right side pump receives deoxygenated blood, it pushes it to the lungs. The left side of the heart picks up oxygen-rich blood from the lungs, pushes that oxygen-rich blood to all the cells of the body, giving us the cellular oxygen that we need to exist. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on an overview of the heart. Please consult our link, www.himlinksincorporated.com, for more information. Thank you.